92 600 SL SEL, I'm sorry, 600 SEL, 4-door 140. Engine mounts done, both sides. As you can see, the engine mounts are really tall now, so I can put my finger in there. I can feel the top. This is really good. Obviously, mounts were shot, and we'll get to them in a second. Same on this side, that engine mount is good. The post for the air cleaner, this is new one. I'm actually buying more posts to secure the rears. I'm replacing the boot. This boot is there temporarily just to have the engine run for now. But obviously this boot is used. Original one was basically, boots were swapped. The left was on the right was on the left, and what have you. But one of them was already a replacement boot, so like you see, this one is nice and pliable. So this one is a keeper, but this was on the other side, so I got the proper boot, but I just happen to have a used one, so I'll just put this one in, even though it's pliable, but it shows signs of distress. And this boot is going to be disturbed a lot because you remove the air cleaner to get the mass airflow sensor. So for that reason, you want this to be brand new because it's going to break. All right. Lower engine harness was rewired. I did that harness a while back, so this harness is nice. I also see brand new heater control valve. This is all as one unit, which is also good. This is an expensive piece, and that is not used. This seems to be a brand new unit. That was installed at some point of time. Same here for the posts here, even though they're holding on more or less, but I'm replacing them with new ones. I already placed an order for them. Okay, so in terms of the engine, I don't see any other issues with the motor. Engine runs extremely nice. Now with the engine mounts and transmission mount, this is great. Okay, we'll go back to the transmission mount, and I also want to make a few notes that are important. Okay, so transmission mount was also replaced. All right, brand new mount. But flex disc is in really poor shape. Flex disc is all cracked up. This is definitely to be replaced. Unfortunately, over here in my position, it's very difficult to do it as it is, so that is to be done on the lift. Just want to point this out because this is important. This has to be done. If that flex disc fails, oh, it's going to be a big problem. A rear one usually is never really bad. Never seen them being bad because less torque, I guess. But that one looks pretty good to me, visually at least. Looks fine. Whatever, we have some oil leaks here and there. I mean, it is what it is. We're not making a Concours d'Elegant cars. This is gonna be just a runner. All right, let me go back out of here, and I just want to go to the front of the vehicle for suspension. I also bent out brackets here, so just to bring the plastic cover backwards slightly, so we might have less of the wheel contact with the wheel well, the actual tire touching a wheel well over here. As you can see, shiny parts. This is where the wheel touches, because for some reason this panel, the wheel well bottom portion is some sort of extended, so now I pushed it backwards a little bit. Hopefully that will be enough. All right, so now we're going to go up to the front. I did struts, I mean front shocks, and let's take a look what I see underneath. Now I do see one of the, well, actually both ball joints. All right, so here a ball joint has a little crack over here. This one is not as bad as the other side, but right over there you see a slight crack. They're not making any noises yet, but you see their rubber boot is cracking. Boot on sway bar link is also cracked. The link is still there. There's a little bit of lubricant still in there, some grease, and it doesn't seem to be loose, but you know, it's like that's to be replaced. Also, sway bar bushings to be done, because those are in pretty poor shape. They're in really poor shape, and that's what probably makes that noise, suspension noise. Right over here, this is pretty much almost touching. It's like rubbers are gone, so I think I'm going to get these done, and sway bar links, I'll do them too, just for good measure. The steering damper which is removed right now from here over. That one is totally well, there's nothing left out of it, there's no pressure in it, it's just got, it's a gunner. And ball joint on this side as well. This one is cracked badly. This is definitely to be replaced, and you can see it's just split. That's no good. Steering idler seem to be done. It appears to be done because that doesn't seem original to me. Links, they all fine, seem to be. Tie rods, I don't really see no cracks here with tie rods, tie rod ends and whatnot. Whatever oil leak you see, that's from the front cover. It's like, we're not going there. This is just way too much. It's just, you know, we're just gonna let it be. There is no pressure there, so it shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, lower harness is done. And transmission, like I said, it was a replacement transmission. Well, that's really good news. This thing is like zip tied, whatever, let it sit. And yeah, I mean, you know, other than that, well, don't mind the exhaust looking like that. That's just the covering. The pipes are fine. Okay, so it's just noise suppressors and noise insulation in other words, right? Just to make it quieter. And that's about all I see. So we got the flex disc for the transmission, tie rods, not tie rods, sway bar links, sway bar bushings, ball joints, front ball joints to be done. Oil leaks, we can leave with it right for now. That's from my jack, I think, because my jack is leaking some oil. It's the jack right over there, because it's been sitting here for a little bit of time, and when the car sits, I don't really have any oil coming down. So what else? The amplifier, I rebuilt the amplifier. It's still sitting there as is. Still have to finish it off. We're ripping all this out, putting the radio in. I ordered a new antenna, replacement antenna aftermarket, but it should do. This is steering damper here. As you can see, this one, this has no pressure whatsoever, so that is to be replaced. And let's go. That's the radio that's going in. Bluetooth, HD radio, telephone, and what have you, all of this good stuff. And the last segment here is engine mounts. This is how the engine mounts look. Yeah, they're like absolutely destroyed. Let me just zoom on to them. Yeah, so there's really nothing left from the mounts. They're like gunners. This is in extremely poor shape. Yeah, I can move them around. One of them, second, is no better. It's been hitting. As you can see, it's imprints from the engine hitting. Like every time it would accelerate, it would hit the mount. So yeah, all the rubber is gone. Basically the metal portion was as low as the base of the mount, close to it. So there was still a little bit suspension left from the rubber, but nonetheless it was not enough. Transmission mount, as you can see, is very low, and it was pretty much laying there. I don't know if you can see shiny spot in the middle, right in there. That's where transmission mount would just lay. The center point would lay with right on the base of the mount, which is bad. Also, somebody put too long of screws. As you can see, some scratches here, so I cut the screw down, the bolt out. As you can see, the damages here. This one was shorter, so it would touch, but nothing critical. This is original. So anyway, this is where we are, and doing really good progress. I have left is just these things that I mentioned, and flex disc is really something to be done. Maybe I'll do it. Okay, whatever, maybe I'll do it. I'll just use a gun and I'll just raise the car up. Obviously the car has to be risen to get to that area, because it is what it is. So I got the ramps, I got jack stands underneath, and because this tire I have to turn tires when I do engine mount, so I have a supplementary jack on the other side just in case, because safety's first. You don't want to, I don't want this to fall on me. 2 tons of metal falling on me, no good. So I always double check, and I always secure myself. What else? That's about it, I think, as far as I can remember. Lights work, the panel switches, that is to be done, one of the switch to be done. And yeah, I put the bulb in the cluster, the one that was burnt out seat belt. You know, that's kind of a drag. Seat belt wasn't used in a long time, and it doesn't really go back in. So I don't know. But like I said, I mean, I can go endlessly with these cars. You will never stop fixing stuff. Okay, it's just like, it's just always, there's always something. So if we go for like tiny little details, that's gonna be endless project. Well, I mean, not endless, but it's gonna cost so much, it's not even funny. All right, so for now, this is it. And I have to wrap up, lower it down, and you know, go to rest. All right, this is it. Victor here, restoreyourmercedes.com. Thank you for watching.